The Bosavi area plus Margarima and Lake Kutabu are all neighbours of Tari Region, and 35 years ago could only be reached quickly by air. A by-election was called and caused a quick patrol into the Bosavi and some of the remotest country in the nation. The patrol moved quickly to Samarisi, where voting took place for this by-election. In this area of the Bosavi, people live in a single, very large house. Here they also carry out swidden gardening practices, where they clear the undergrowth, plant new seeds or seedlings, and then fell the forest to provide shade and nutrition. Very few people in Papua New Guinea use this type of gardening. The dancers from the Bosavi put on a show demonstrating their unique dress and rhythm. At the rear of the dancers, they wear a girdle with a flexible attachment, on which many freshwater crayfish claws are fixed, creating a rattling noise when the dancers move around. The patrol moved to Ledesa via spectacular scenery. The links between the Huli and the Bosavi are well established, with the trade in tree oil being the most important. The patrol consisted of more than 20 porters who were taking the patrol equipment and ballot boxes for the election back to Ledesa. Although the scenery looks calm and beautiful, the river crossing could prove very difficult after heavy rainfall upstream. It was possible to be washed over the waterfall. Here the election patrol emerges from the jungle and crosses the Bosavi airstrip to enter the village of Ledesa. A meeting was called to bring the leaders together to discuss economic development projects such as crocodile farms, chili plantations and other aspects of business development. Particular attention was paid to these discussions by the local APCM missionary, who had an interest in finding out how the Bosavi people saw their future. After inspecting Mount Bosavi, National Parks and Wildlife officers get ready to leave. Patrol Officer Favetta also took time out while waiting for the plane. We then prepared to leave Bosavi by aircraft. As you can see, the airstrip was built on a hill, and takeoff was interesting to say the least, especially accelerating towards the edge of the jungle. The flight took us over the Manunda Ranges and on to Como. Welcome to Teptep. Assistant Patrol Officer Urban Giru was there to meet me. Landing at Teptep is a precarious activity, as it is one of the steepest airstrips in the world, with a slope of 15 degrees. The landing threshold is only 200 feet, and the pilot had to accelerate uphill. Mission Aviation Fellowship, or MAF Air, took great delight in taking their trainee pilots into Teptep. On one occasion, I was courageous enough to do some circuits and bumps, just to get some footage of the airstrip. Self-Government Day Teptep in 1973 saw the commencement of the government of Papua New Guinea taking full control of administering the country. Everyone from the 10 villages which lined the Yupna Gorge came to Teptep to join in the celebrations, which commenced with a flag-raising ceremony and prayer for Papua New Guinea's future. Teptep is one of the most remote areas in the Madang province and is halfway between Madang and Leh in the middle of the Finisterre Ranges. The people from the villages surrounding Teptep celebrated the day by performing various sing-sing. Their costumes, headdresses and decorations are some of the most elaborate I've seen in Papua New Guinea. Like most places in Papua New Guinea, the men are the peacocks, with feathers, paint and beating drums, whilst the women take a lesser role in providing colour and movement around the outside of the dance circle. One of the most amazing performances I witnessed whilst in Papua New Guinea was when these dancers performed, because the ground literally shook under my feet and the drumming was so loud and penetrating it made everyone pay attention. You had to be there to fully appreciate it. The dances lasted all day and were only interrupted by other activities. There was no actual competition between the various sing-sing groups, as they were there to show off their culture and celebrate the occasion with their neighbours. As Teptep sits in a beautiful but small valley, the sunrise is very late and sunset is very early, casting a shadow over the celebrations. The nighttime sing-sing was especially elaborate, where the men wore a frame to hold up an umbrella of feathers, onto which was fixed a long flexible pole, some 20 feet long. The visitors enjoyed greasy poles for both adults and children. The children's greasy pole was only 4 metres off the ground, and the prizes consisted of lollies, t-shirts and some colouring books and pencils. The men's greasy pole was 10 metres tall and was divided into 2 sections. The prizes at the first stage were less valuable than those at the top and were items such as tin fish and biscuits. The prizes at the top of the pole consisted of various items such as nails, soap, tobacco and knives, all wrapped up in a thick blanket. Three-legged races were held for the women, with prizes of tin food, some blankets and material for making lap-laps. The archery competition involved men shooting at trees, which had very soft bark, similar to that of a pawpaw tree. When a warrior was successful in hitting a tree, he was rewarded with 5 cigarettes. During a period of famine, a community centre was opened at Paijaka, where a major sing-sing and feast took place. Many pigs were slaughtered, as the people were unable to feed them. The opening of the community centre provided an ideal opportunity to have a major feast and relieve the pressure on the struggling families to feed their pigs and to keep them alive. This region is in the northern area of the Tari Basin, and the traditional wigs and decorations is slightly different to other areas. A neighbouring clan group makes its way up the road to Pajaka to join in the celebrations. Some prominent men performed their special songs for this opening. National Day was held on the first anniversary of self-government. These celebrations were held in Tari, with contributions from various groups from all over Papua New Guinea, comprising of school teachers, warders, policemen and other administration staff not from the Tari Region. They dressed up in their traditional costumes and performed sing-sings from their various provinces. En meri belong me and walk about go lookim nisala sing sing. Everyone got very excited during these celebrations. This footage shows Wabag residents of Tari performing their traditional sing-sing. These dancers comprise mainly of prison warders and policemen. The Fly River people, mainly from Daru, performed the crocodile dance. These people were mainly teachers and hospital staff with some trainee missionaries. The Chimbu Mary certainly put on a show. The Huli are one of the largest language groups in Papua New Guinea and are recognized worldwide as one of the icons of the nation, with their highly ornate ceremonial wigs, birds of paradise feathers and bright yellow face paint. Sir John Guise, the first Governor-General of Papua New Guinea, arrived in Tari for a state visit and was enthusiastically welcomed by the people, including MLA Samati Abiyui, Council President Andrew Andija, and Vice President Hogogo and many others.